Hi, Kristina. How are you? BRIC has been doing a lot of work to encourage New Yorkers filling out the census. And I'm curious to hear a little bit more, how you see the intersection of arts, culture, civic participation, and why it's important to BRIC, to encourage people to do this.
It's fantastic to be here with you, Gonzalo. So thank you. We have been working with the New York City's Complete Count Fund. And obviously, arts and culture is always on the front line of funding cuts. So just being able to be heard, having a voice about all of the important things that are, as we would say, breakfast and dinner table issues is imperative. When I moved to the States, the census wasn't a thing for me, right? Like I came from a Jamaica where we are all about like participating and making sure our voices are heard. However, when I moved here, it wasn't a thing. It was not on my radar. So I'm just so happy that there's so much attention being placed on this, making sure that people are being seen, that they are heard. And so BRIC is doing our part to get that message out.
You're mentioning, your immigrant identity. I'm an immigrant myself. For many years, as I was working towards, my citizenship, I felt a little bit, every time there was an opportunity to vote, I felt like I didn't belong. It was a census, as silly as it might sound, that, that I felt that I participated. You've been doing a lot of work to encourage immigrants to also get counted. And what are the barriers there, that you see, and what are the concerns that you see?
We're living in an extraordinarily strange and unsettling time in our world right now, and it was already uncomfortable in many ways for immigrant communities, as you know, feeling like in some way being seen and heard could be a detriment. There's just a lot of discomfort in feeling like people are putting their lives, their livelihood, and their families at risk if they were to be counted, and it's not true. The great thing about the census is that none of being counted will jeopardize any immigrant in any way, right? Your voice matters.
And Kristina, how do you see, participating in the census in the context of, the two big crises that our country is facing, both, the pandemic and the work of the Black Lives Matter movement? Brooklyn has been a little bit of the epicenter in our city.
Look at who's being disproportionately impacted, right? By COVID, Black Lives Matter, Me Too. These are Black and brown voices in particular, Black and brown parents, families. And so again, in alignment with the census, who's disproportionately not visible, not counted? Black and brown voices. And the more that we stand up, get counted, participate, is the reduction that we will see in issues of inequity in our community, because we will have a voice and we will have a united front. What have you been seeing just from your leadership role?
So we're seeing, low rates of participation in the census, and this is one of the reasons we're just talking to you, and, we thank you for all the work that you're doing with BRIC, encouraging people.
Thank you.
At the same time, I think, that people are understanding that this is something that needs to get done.
We don't have as much time as we have had in the past, so it is that much more important to participate and get counted.
Yeah, so let's keep encouraging people to fill the census before September 30. You just go on the website, it takes less than 10 minutes, 10 questions. And, you're going to be helping, to advocate for our city, our cultural organizations, our schools.
It's just been fantastic for us to work with the city on this initiative. So thanks for all that you guys are doing.
It was great talking to you. I hope to see you soon.
My motto is I love my job.
This is my job. Uber driver.
Oh, I always wanted to be a doctor.
I was born to be a teacher.
I go to work so that another trans person will have a better tomorrow.
I do this work because it's who I am.
Just like we get out there and vote, we need to do the same thing with the census.
If we fill out the census, we have a better opportunity to get equity.
This is what my community looks like. These are the numbers that go with it. This is the help that we need.
We owe it to each other.
For the frontline workers.
That's what I have in my mind. If we help each other, it makes it easy.
Financial equity, educational equity, and equity is how you advance yourself.
If you sit and put your hands in your pocket, you're not gonna get what's out there.
If we're not counted, then we don't exist.
We no longer want to be a part of the marginalized.
You are somebody because you are counted.
Fill out the census. Go to my2020census.gov.